All right, welcome to Buck Don't Know Shit. It is a beautiful day in Texas. I'm home. Been gone for 6 weeks, exactly 6 weeks actually. And I'm glad to be home. And man, I have a lot to do and I'm like excited, pumped, ready to get this car finished. Got a lot of work to do. I am going to be home for a little over 2 weeks and I don't have a lot to do other than work on the car. I mean, there's actually stuff I could be doing besides the car, but nothing pressing, right? So we're gonna work on the car a lot. So today, this is gonna just be a Buck Talks video, I believe. And I'm just gonna walk around a little bit, show you what I have to do. The goal this time home is going to be to get the front clip put together. Got a couple of things I got to do before I don't really have to do, but I want to do before I put the fenders on. First thing, which I have talked about this project like in 42 videos now. Y'all probably, those that watch, probably tired of hearing about it, but this little wiring project, I did get where it goes into the firewall specifically from the engine compartment. I did get, and these are, I didn't need to buy this many, but I did. So yeah, but I do have some heavy gauge connectors in here and some, I think, that will attach to the firewall. Anyway, I got that stuff. They're Deutsch type connectors, and I got some for the 16 gauge wires and some for the 10 and 12 gauge wires that go through there. So I think I'll be able to button that up. I'm gonna get that done. And what else? So y'all will probably have already seen the video on me bleeding the brakes, and I don't know if I'll explain it or not, but during that process I took this combination valve out, which a lot of people just call this a proportioning valve. It is and it isn't, and I am going to do a video specifically on this guy right here, and this is made by MP. I don't remember what the MP stands for. I'll put that in another video when I talk about it. I'm going to explain this a little bit. I have seen some people talk about these and putting them in their cars, not specifically this brand, but they're all, if they look like this, some of them are brass, they're pretty much doing the same thing, or not pretty much, they are. They're all very similar. Just going to explain what is going on with these things. But as far as this project goes, I'm going to stick this back in the car. I had taken it out while I was bleeding just to kind of simplify my system because I was trying to figure out what was leaking. Ended up being the banjo bolts, right? But I've gone back and forth on, do I need this or can I just put a regular proportioning valve in? And I do think this does have some purpose. Like I was talking to my uncle about, let me fix this. It's like I got a new selfie stick. Yeah, I think that's better. Kept cutting my head off, but and I am on my phone, not on my camera. Let's back up a little bit. So I am trying to make better quality videos. These Buck Talk videos, though, it's just easy to grab the camera and walk around with the selfie stick and talk. No microphones, nothing. The phone does a better job with audio with nothing than the camera does, in my opinion. The camera, it's got good microphones, but it picks up a lot of background noise. Like I've got that miner rig back there, which is just a couple of GPUs and a fan that, and it's not very loud, but you listen to it on the microphones and like you can hear it very clearly. With the camera, my phone, it's not as bad. So I did, just to update on that too, on what I'm doing with the channel, I did buy some, I had bought 2 different kinds of lapel type mics. That one of them very cheap, which actually they don't sound bad, they sound pretty good, but the batteries are terrible. You'll be middle of a video, you know, and they cut off, and I've already found some videos where like I'm sitting there doing my thing and they cut off and I have no volume, you know, no audio. So I've gotten kind of leery of those because they don't warn you. They don't, you know, there's little lights on them. Of course, you're not looking at that, and they just turn off. I did buy another kind that was more expensive, but the sound, to me, the sound quality is terrible. Again, they pick up background noise really bad. So I have a new style, again, fairly expensive, you know, in the $100 to $200 range, that I'm going to try. I'm going to be playing around with that today some, because I do want to get some good audio quality. I know that's important for video content, to have good audio, even more important than the video, apparently, experts say. I am going to be playing with that, so you may see some different audio quality in the future. These Buck Talk videos, I think, like I said, just stick with the phone. It's easy and it sounds pretty good. And the videos, you know, okay, good enough if you're looking at YouTube on your phone. Oddly, I have quite a few views that come on, people watch on television. The video doesn't transfer to television very well, and I've got to play with that too. So I don't know if it's my phone quality or just the way I'm editing and putting it in the wrong, you know, I don't know, 1080 by 1920, or if I'm supposed to be going higher resolution or whatever, but I don't know. So my problem with that is I am editing or actually uploading videos while I'm offshore a lot, and the internet is terrible out there. So, you know, you go higher quality resolution, the files get bigger and bigger and bigger. It takes longer and longer and longer to upload. So yeah, I may be kind of stuck with poor video quality for a while, as long as I have a job. So y'all may just have to live with that. I don't know. Anyway, I hate to say that, but yeah, that's the truth. That's what I'm dealing with, you know. I'm just me. So but back to this. Yeah, so I had taken this out to simplify my brake system, got the brakes bled, and they work. But you have this for a reason. And you see right now I have this tester plug in there. You do have which the safety feature would not work with that in there, by the way. So I will have to put the switch plug back in, if I can find it. It's somewhere. Yeah, I have gone back and forth and kind of like, well, I got a dual bowl master cylinder. If one starts leaking, that's why you have dual bowls, right? Because if the rear leaks, the front's still work, and vice versa. So what is the point of this, right? If you can't proportion it, you can't control the force of the brakes because there is no adjustment on these, right? Then what's the purpose of it? And I think, and someone can correct me, but it's because this has a kind of a valve inside of it that shifts if one part of your brake lines starts leaking. It will stop the leak. Of course, either whichever one is leaking, it closes it off, right, to where it does not leak anymore. Of course, they're still not going to work, the front or back, whichever one is leaking, but the other one will. And I think the purpose of that is because if your master cylinder completely drains, one of the bowls completely drains, then it can suck air up inside of it and then get it to where your good bowl, one that still has fluid in it, can't really apply pressure because you have air in the actual master cylinder now. I think that is what it helps prevent. So it does have a good purpose. Another thing it does, which specific to this brand, but I think the other ones do it also, is it has in the front part has a little valve, I guess, that delays the pressure being applied to the front brakes just for a split second, allows the pressure to get to the back brakes because the drum brakes are slower. And I am specifically talking about a setup that is for a disc front, brake rear type assembly. They have these for disc also, and I don't think they have them for drum, but they definitely have them for disc. But for a disc drum setup, it delays the front response for a split second to allow the brakes to engage first. And So that is why they call this a combination valve, because it has that. It has the device that, the safety device that actually trips it. And then when that valve inside slides over, it makes contact with this switch that's in here. And if you have it hooked up to a light, your brake light will then come on. So this is not anything related to pressure. This center part right here actually sees no pressure. It is just creating a contact if it fails, and which completes the circuit, and then your light comes on. So I will go into more detail about that. I just went into a lot of detail about it, but I'm going to do a specific video talking about that device. But long story short, I'm going to put it back in, and I think I'm going to add, because I had it in, my lines are pretty much run. I can easily put it back in. I will just have to re-bleed my brakes when I get done. Not a big deal. I know how to do it now. I'm a freaking expert at it. So I'm not like scared to break lines. It's really not that hard. Everybody's kind of like, oh, I'm gonna bleed the brakes. And I say that, but I spent 4 days doing it, trying to get it to work. So, but I had issues, right? And now I know how to work through those issues and pinpoint where I'm leaking. Yeah, so anyway, I'm not scared to bleed the brakes again. It's not that hard once you know what you're doing. Good, yeah. Anyway, watch my video and you will be well versed in what not to do. So yeah, so that's it. Before the front fenders, electrical job, get my brake system completely put back together with all the safety devices on it. And I will decide if I'm going to add the actual proportioning valve or not. I did buy one. I go back and forth. It is a thing to have that, both that combination valve and the actual proportioning valve in the system. People do that. So I may do that. But then get those two things knocked out, and then I am going to put this back together. Now that involves some headlights, front blinkers on both the fender that has the little, I don't know what you call them, blinker. Yeah, they're blinkers, but they're looking at you in the car so you can see if they're working, I guess. But and the front blinkers, headlights, fog lights, all that stuff. Got to get all that working. Check my headlight switch that's in the car, just headlights, do all that. I got to get the bumpers, front bumpers back on. I got to kind of clean up that chrome. Gonna do all that. I've got these rear bezels. That's probably one of the first things I'll do is go ahead and clean these up, polish them, get them on the car, and then I will be done with my rear assembly there. See, it looks pretty damn good, but need the last piece. Button that project up, get done with that, and probably will do that today, and yeah, work on this electrical today, and probably brakes tomorrow, get that knocked out, then get the front fenders on. And so that is my goal. And I say 2 weeks. I don't foresee it taking all 2 weeks to get all that done. I am going to have to get somebody to help me with this heavy bastard. Get the hood back on. Yeah, it's like I'm almost there. It's Wednesday. I came home on a Tuesday. It's the what is it, the 11th or 12th? I don't know. It's the 12th of March. That is my goal right now, and that's all I'm going to talk about in this video. No, well, I'll tell you, get the front clip done. Of course, we're going to drive it a little bit with everything put together. And I think the next thing is windows. That way I can, windows and weather stripping, right? I've got quite a bit, I've got all the weather stripping to do. So might as well get that done. Yeah, windows, weather stripping, or weather stripping windows. Then I can like get this car outside, and if it rains, it's not a big deal. One thing I've been holding off on interiors because this car gets extremely dirty just sitting in the garage, dust and things collecting, and the interior would have gotten filthy. You see, I do have the seats built and installed, but I have covered them up while I was gone just so they wouldn't get dust all over them. Yeah, so I think front clip and then windows and weather stripping, get the car exterior pretty much done. I may actually give her a bath at that point, polish wheels, things like that. Then I've got 2 routes I could go. I've got exhaust stuff, and I do think I have decided to go stainless. Well, I mean, obviously I decided at some point to go stainless because I bought a bunch of stainless fittings. But I think I was just going to try to see if I can come up with the method that I'm going to get this header on this side down and kick to the back. Going to try to do it myself. And I think if I go that far, I might as well do the whole exhaust system myself. And I did go stainless on this, but then I've been looking at maybe just doing the aluminum coated. I think it's aluminum oxide. I don't know. It's steel, but it's coated with something. It's, you know, easier to weld. Although this, you can weld this stainless with the MIG, and I have the wire, special wire. I actually got it right here. The stainless wire to do it. So anyway, we'll talk about that later, but I haven't fully decided on what kind of material. Of course, my headers are just mild steel or whatever. Yeah, mild steel basically. So I went cheap. I did. I mean, $400 still, but better than the $800 to do the stainless. And I know I'm gonna have to change them out, but we've talked about this too. We know this engine's probably gonna come out in a couple of years. So when we get it out, if we want to put stainless headers on then, and maybe I will just go stainless. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. So probably gonna end up going stainless on the exhaust, and then one day take this all out and get some stainless headers at some point. But yeah, that's way down the road. I think we're gonna drive and enjoy this car for a while before we worry about that. But so I guess what I was saying was I could either go exhaust or go knock out the interior. Thinking I need to do exhaust first, get this car kind of sanitary, right? For one thing, you don't want exhaust right here in your engine, and you know, I'm gonna plug up all the holes I find in the firewall, but just for, you know, not stinking out the interior, let's get some exhaust all the way to the back of the car and then work on the interior. Because once I have exhaust and windows and door trim, I really don't have to finish any of this other stuff to make this car legal. I got to put seat belts in it, and I mean, the back seats literally just kind of slide into place, and I can get this car on the road and actually driving without the rest of the interior done, more or less, right? So I think that will be next. So front clip, windows, weather stripping, exhaust, and then finish up the interior. That sound like a plan? I think that's a plan. And like I said, I'll be home 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. I'll be happy if I get all the little front clip projects done and the full front clip done, and be on my way working towards getting the windows in. A lot of work to the windows, weather stripping. I've got a lot to learn. I've got a lot of little things I got to do when I do get to these doors. You can see they need to be painted, the inside parts of them. Just kind of clean it up, because you know, when you get one of these cars, it just looks better when you open the door and everything's nice and, you know, pretty good looking paint job. So I did buy some more. May have showed in the videos. Yeah, Touch Up Direct. Yeah, so they have this burgundy color, and it did match very well from what I could tell. good enough definitely for insides of doors and things, little touch-up trim pieces and things like that. I think it looks really good actually. So gonna hit the doors. So like I said, when I get on these door projects, it's gonna be a lot of little things. I need to do the latches, clean them up, kind of take them apart, rework them. The one on the driver's side was fine. The passenger side, it could not open it from the inside. So something going on there I need to figure out. I got speakers. These are the 6x9s. I think I mentioned in the previous Buck Talk that I was going to do that, and I did do that. I've got speaker wire. I've got the 5 inches that I had been saying I was going to put them in the doors, but I think now I'm going to put them on the kick panels down in here, which I will have to cut them, but the car needs speakers. So, yeah, gotta have some speakers. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm gonna cut y'all off and do a little playing with my new microphones to see what sounds best. I need a haircut. So my last haircut was in December, I think. Yeah, it's getting really, really long. I don't, kind of sometimes when I see it long, I'm like, maybe I should let it grow out, get a style or something. But I don't know. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work, and then I'd have to actually pay for a real haircut. I don't know. It probably getting it shaved this afternoon. So I do think about it a lot. My kids always you should let it grow out. It looks good growing out. Dad, it makes you look younger. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. But I can still grow hair even though it is getting thinner. I see that in videos. You don't have to tell me that I'm going bald. But I am almost 50, so I feel like I've done pretty good in the hair department, making it this long. So, it's not like I'm out trying to impress anybody with my beautiful hair. I'm not a politician or a news anchor or anything, so don't need hair. But yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna shave it tonight, so it'll be short tomorrow in the next video you see me in. So yeah, that's it. I'm excited. I'm so glad to be home. And yeah, didn't drink yesterday when I got home, so I'm definitely having some beers tonight. And yeah, got crawfish bowl coming up two weekends from now, not a little less than 2 weeks actually. Bunch of family and friends, and we just have a good time, piss the neighbors off, but it'll be fun. So yeah, anyway, all right, that's it. I really need to do some work.